appearing for their first language English IGCSE is analyze the questions given to them, be it argumentative, narrative or descriptive. What I will be doing is giving you an overview of the criteria to keep in mind when choosing a topic. Let me begin with the points to keep in mind if you were to choose an argumentative essay. Depending upon the topic given, students must decide whether they are well versed with the subject at hand. If the topic was related to something about the current issues or general knowledge as such, then students have to be sure that they have enough factual evidence to back up the arguments that they will be writing about. On the other hand, if the topic talks about moral issues, then students have the opportunity to put forth their opinions and reason out using their own opinions and thoughts about the subject, especially if the topic is something that they feel passionately about. However, in the descriptive essay, a student need not really be well versed with the topic because it does not require you to have factual evidence as such. The writing is mostly to do with what you feel and what you sense, and therefore the student can put in a lot of emotion into the topic. So when analyzing a descriptive essay topic, students look into the imaginative aspect and how much they can play around with the topic and if they can relate to the topic on a personal level. When looking at a narrative essay topic, if the student can't come up with a climax as soon as you read the topic, then it would be unwise to go ahead and write one. Just leave it, go ahead with another topic, because if you can't come up with a climax at the beginning when you see the topic, then you might waste too much time thinking of one and it might turn out to be a failure. So it's good to just leave it aside. So at the end, the best way to pick a topic is really how comfortable you feel with the topic itself. If you may be good at writing argumentative essays, but if the essay for the descriptive is something that you've personally experienced, then that personal experience could give you an upper hand on writing a good descriptive essay about that. So first, you have to keep that in mind. Secondly, then you should take into consideration what kind of writing you're comfortable with. Do you like playing with words? If that's the case, if you like using figures of speech, if you like playing with your language, if you like painting a picture, then descriptive is the way to go for you. Yeah. If you're a fairly rational person, the way I am, then I think argumentative essay would be better for you to go with, because you'd be able to reason out better, you'd be able to, especially under exam conditions, it would be something that you'd be more comfortable with. And narrative essay, personally, I don't really enjoy writing, and I find that it's much more difficult to keep on track with, even with the topics given. So yeah, I hope that helps. All the best.
I'm going to talk about the time factor. During your exam, it is very important for you to be aware of the amount of time you have at hand. For all your essays, you will need to plan, write it, and still have enough time to proofread. Don't be overconfident and write your essay without planning or give it up without proofreading. In the case of argumentative essays, managing time is fairly easy as you have a fixed structure to follow. This makes it easy to plan your essay, as all you need is to consider points for and against the topic. As for descriptive and narrative, it is very important to plan your essay to make sure that you do not get carried away and write over the word limit. You have to fit in all your ideas in the word limit and not spend too much time thinking about what to write next. In my opinion, argumentative essays are the easiest to write as they have a fixed structure. If you're more of a logical person like me and find it easier to write following a structure, argumentative essays are the best. All you need in your planning is to choose whether you are for or against a topic and write your points out. Next, you write the essay, and that's about it.
The content of your essay, be it argumentative, narrative or descriptive, is what determines your final grade and the quality of your answer. Upon analysis of the topic and deciding how much time should be allotted to each section of your essay, it is now, of course, time to decide the most important thing, what your answer will consist of. To begin with, when looking at an argumentative essay, one must have a solid base, evidence and facts to back up their reasons. The essay should display a thorough understanding of the topic along with a justification of your opinions. Use of a persuasive tone along with examples and a relation of the writer towards a topic is essential. The essay should contain a tone of passion as well as factual reasoning. Writing a descriptive essay, the student is given an opportunity to display his or her imaginative skills. The whole point of a descriptive essay is that the writer portrays a good knowledge of nuanced vocabulary, and the essay should contain figures and parts of speech, such as personification, pathetic fallacy, similes, metaphors, etc. Portraying a flair of writing includes dwelling on the details and catering to every sense: sight, smell, what you feel, what you hear, as well as taste. Your essay should have a proper image written out on paper and a good build of atmosphere. The mood and setting should be clearly described, and the entire essay should stick to the mood it began with. The first thing one must keep in mind when writing a narrative essay is a solid climax. Furthermore, an element of suspense is essential and must be built upon through the course of the essay. The revelation should be unexpected, that is, an anticlimax should be avoided. The essay must begin with a description of mood and setting, and all the techniques involved in a descriptive essay must be portrayed. A series of events and a short time lapse is essential. The reader must remain captured. Okay. Personally, when choosing out of the three essays, I tend to relate most to the descriptive essay topic. This is because I believe, as a writer, you can have a show of vocabulary and several other writing skills and techniques. In descriptive essays, one must keep in mind not to get carried away and cross the word limit, and it's also essential to dwell on the details. When it comes to narrative writing, I have a hard time condensing my ideas in such a short time and finding a solid climax. Argumentative essays require a thorough understanding of the topic at hand, and this does not tend to always happen. Descriptive essays allow you to display a strong flair of writing and let your imagination flow.
One of the most important factors that determine your essay of choice is the structure that is followed in order to write the essay. This is especially crucial when you need to plan your essay in advance. When it comes to argumentative essays, we have a very neat and organized format which helps to save time and even to keep within the word limit. The introduction consists of a thesis statement and a hook, such as a rhetorical question or an interesting statistic. This is then followed by 3 paragraphs for the motion and then 3 counter-arguments within 1 paragraph. In the final paragraph, the conclusion, students have an opportunity to voice their opinions and thereby conclude their essay. On the other hand, with the descriptive essay, there is no such solid format except for the fact that there is no introduction and there is a major focus on mood and setting. Also, drawing mind maps and making paragraph headings beforehand will definitely contribute to a good quality descriptive essay. For narrative essays, the main focus should be on keeping an element of suspense and building up to a climax, meaning the introduction's main focus will obviously be mood and setting, similar to the descriptive essay, and the climax is likely to be in the end of the essay. All in all, I personally would prefer writing the descriptive essay because there's a lot more scope for imagination and experimentation where different styles of writing is possible. Usually, topics that are given in descriptive essays can easily be related to, unlike argumentative essays, because you don't necessarily require previous knowledge of the topic, whereas in descriptive essays you can easily relate to the topic.